for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through Hawkesbury's big day in Sydney's northwest. We've got the quaddie coming your way. We've obviously got the best bets, value bets, the $100 hot seat a little bit later on. Welcoming in Mike, our chief analyst. Mike, we're up to Hawkesbury, Sydney's northwest, as I say. Does that mean the carnival's finally over?
It's got to mean the carnival's finally over. We've had such a good time. We've had a blast the last few weeks, haven't we? Made a bit of money on the way, which is so good. So many great memories to be etched into the record books those last few weeks. Looking through some replays the last couple of nights, my favourite has to be the big 9-year-old who shot the bum storming down the straight. Obviously, Winks is right up there as well. What about you, mate? What did you enjoy?
Look, for me, I'd say it's more about the characters, the trainers. Benny Smith getting that well-deserved Group 1 within her time. Obviously, Eldorado dreaming, saluting at $151 as well. And then what about Team Hawks with Essajab winning a slipper? That emotion is just so rare on a racetrack. I love seeing that, Mike. But look, before we get to that too, your daughter, I know you took her out there last week, and your son, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old out at the races. I need to know how this fared.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week, didn't we? I was experimenting with the 1- and 3-year-old at the Randwick lawn. I've got to say, the Randwick lawn is made for champers, beers and yelling at jockeys. It is not made for toddlers. I chased her into the bookies ring 3 times, but the racing was good, and I think they enjoyed it. I might just think twice before taking them again.
Well done for giving that a go, Mike. And one other thing we're going to give a go this week is to get to Hawkesbury. But look, before we get into that, Hawkesbury, I know it's a track, it's given you some demons in the past. The betting there, I know you've just said it before as we worked on the show. I don't know how you're going to do this. How are we going to get through it?
Yeah, I've hated this track before, haven't I? I had a really hard time looking through these results. And it used to be a tricky track, didn't it? It used to be a bit of a kickback and not the best track to bet on, but I've looked through the data. I've looked through the last few meetings. It's racing a lot better. The favourites are winning.
Yep.
Maybe I just need to suck it up and get on with it. Maybe I should be confident this week.
Well, I like to hear that, and so do the punters at home. So let's get into it. The first leg of the quaddie this weekend at Hawkesbury, as I said, it's the Group 3 Godolphin Crown and a big group of mares that we're just getting to know so well. James Cummings, well, ahead of Godolphin, wouldn't he just love to win it for the big boss with Gisoni? She finished right there alongside White Moss, Louboutin, Invincibella in the lead-ups. But Mike, this race just stinks of another mares race. There's not going to be much between these at the end, is there?
Yeah, there never is. They're so reliable, which some punters like. But maybe because they're so reliable, it's hard to get an edge on the market. Let's have a look and see if we can find some edge over the bookies. It's going to be a 1,300-metre race on a good track, and we think it should be fair on Saturday. The 3 key factors to kick us off: stage of preparation, which mares are ready to win. The Hawkesbury track, some mares have won there before, some haven't. And that 1,300-metre distance range is quite unique. We're going to play that factor as well. All
right, so it's Hawkesbury. Let's have a look at the first leg of the quaddie in terms of the betting market. And Sedanza, fresh into the race. $4 is the favourite. And then here comes that form out of the, we've seen the Gisoni, White Moss, Invincibella. They're all right there. $5 each of those two. Pecans there as well. Out to Gisoni. Nancy, who has had success at this track a couple of years ago. But Mike, Sedanza, the money's there. First up. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, she's a boom horse, isn't she? She's a fantastic horse, and we'll have a look at her in the second replay and see how she went first up last preparation over the same distance. But this is a Group 3 race on Saturday, and there's some Group 2 form coming into it, so it's got to be a strong form line. 1,200 metres dry track. A few of these horses were fresh. White Moss chasing a strong pace, facing the breeze. Invincibella running on along with some others. Some decent form in this race, Stu.
Yeah, but it's just this thing, isn't it? The mares, where do you look? We've got so many to look at here. I mean, White Moss obviously bringing some great form into the race, Mike, but, you know, we're looking a little bit back here. We've got mares like Gisoni, Invincibella. They're all coming through this race.
Yes, Shazza Lee, Hetty Heights running on together. They're only about a length and a half off White Moss, who's, I think, $5 on Saturday. They're $20 plus. Look, there's nothing much between second and about ninth in that race. Yeah. A typical mares race.
All right, let's look at one form line. Let's have a look at the favourite now, Sedanza, because we're taking you back to when she was last first up. And look, we can see here, Mike, midfield just coming wider. This is a horse that just absolutely loves to smash the line, and it's exactly what she's about to do in this race. She
is a cracking horse, and that is the one factor that punters love more than anything else. A horse that really smashes the line. Unfortunately, Rachel King's lost this ride for Saturday. Obviously, Timmy Clark gets on it, but yeah, 1,400 metres fresh last preparation. She always does her best work late, and that's exactly what she does here, but she'll have to improve a few lengths to win on Saturday.
All right, well, the key factors is going to hopefully sort out this race for us, Mike. As we get stuck into it, all the analysis, it's come to fruition now. Let's get into the form, and you can take us through all the key factors for the first leg of the quaddie.
Yeah, form, not too much between these mares. Pecans out the weights, not particularly well suited. Sedanza and White Moss, they get the tick for us on form. Light them up.
So the two favourites there to kick things off. The first key factor, Mike, stage of preparation.
Yeah, looking for horses ready to peak. Sedanza first up, maybe a slight risk. White Moss second up, Invincibella second up. Love it. Just Sony second up as well.
Okay, so it's White Moss just out in front, Mike, and the second is the Hawkesbury track. Very important.
Yeah, looking for horses that have won at Hawkesbury before. White Moss hasn't. Maybe the long straight could be a risk for that powerful grey. Nancy, Heady Heights have before. They should love that long straight.
Okay, so White Moss just out in front, but a little bit of value sneaking in. We've got Nancy and Heady Heights with a bit of gold. What about distance, Mike?
Yeah, a lot of people will like White Moss at home. For us, it's just the last 50 metres in a strong 1,300 metre race. That's a risk for us. It's an opposite risk for Sedanza. Coming back in distance is not ideal for her. Invincibella, Jasonia Louboutin, there's a couple down the bottom again. They should love the 1,300 metres.
So as we've hit the line here, Mike, I mean, pretty much all together, isn't it? But we've got a little bit of value I can see there down the bottom. Look, it's these mares races, isn't it? It's one of those cases, small bets, go wide. How are you going to play it? One thing I can see from there was just nothing that was breaking out of the pack, was there?
No, absolutely nothing at all. And wow, look at that. 1, 2, 3, what is that? 8, 7? I don't know. There's a lot right there between them. We're not confident at all. If you've got a mate at home who reckons he's got a moral, he's lying. But we always say about these races, you've got to go small, you've got to go for value. So right down the bottom of the page, at that equal second top rating, it's Nancy and Heady Heights for us. They're both tough. They're both athletic. They can both get near pace or just inside midfield if they want. And they're small each way bets for sure. Why
don't we start off with a bit of value there, Mike? There's some great both double-figure odds there for the best bet and also the value bet.
Great value, just no confidence.
There's a look at the first leg of the quaddie. Now it's on to the Hawkesbury Gold Cup. It's the Group 3, and it's a decent handicap over the mile, this one. We've got Ecuador there. You know he's going to give it a shake on pace. Duke of Valentinois, Mr. Seawolf. They're all coming out of the Doncaster Prelude. And, Mike, a great story in this race. Dave Atkins, he's got Placer in the race. One of the most promising horses, he said, he had in the yard about 9 months ago. So interesting to see where this horse goes. And Robbie Thompson, well, we know he's just going to be out the back smoking his pipe. We know this horse flies home, but can he get it done on Saturday? Is it going to be enough?
Yeah, big question. An exciting horse to back, isn't he? If you like that sort of thing, because he gets way back and flies home so hard, but he's 7 kilograms up in grade on Saturday.
Yeah, wow.
So it's not going to be an easy task for him in this Group 3 feature mile race on Saturday. A good track we talked about before. Not too much tempo in this race again. Fair to steady only with Ecuador going forward. He might roll from about the 500 metre mark, and a fair bias, we hope it was 2 meetings ago when the rail was in the true. Across the 3 key factors, good Hawkesbury, we're playing the track again, but a dry track as well. Distance over 1,600 metres, which horses love the mile, and a few drawn out wide off a steady tempo. You want to be near the pace for position and run.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the market now for this second leg of the quaddie this weekend at Hawkesbury. And Gaze Tough Ecuador, look at that, $3.50, really solid in the market. Duke of Valentinois and Mr. Seawolf right there at $6. Kingsguard also there, $6.50. There's that horse, Placer, going to be running on at the $8. McCreary. I just don't know about this horse's preparation, but you never know, Mike. Out to McIntosh and Lavani. But look, Ecuador, Mike, this horse is just tough.
Yeah, he's tough, he's on pace, and he's a punter's friend. Each way all day for him, but maybe not at that price. We'll have a look at the ratings and see how he shapes up. He was one of many that come through the Doncaster Prelude, also a Group 3 race. Over just 100 metres less, over the 1,500 metres. He was on pace. Kingsguard was on pace. They both fought on pretty well off a steady tempo. Ducha Valentinois was really patiently ridden from a wide barrier, and off that steady tempo, his last 100 metres was pretty good, Stu.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to look for in these replays, isn't it, Mike? But some of these horses, I mean, we know them so well, so reliable, some of these as well, but like so tough to get past Ecuador.
Yeah, he always fights on. Mr. Seawolf running on pretty well out wide there as well. A good 4. Just getting his toe in slightly, which he would have enjoyed. If it's a really firm track on Saturday, it's a risk for that horse.
All right, well, look, one that was in there, Mike, Duke of Valentinois. Let's take you back a while ago now to have a look at this horse, because this is another horse that we know can smash the line. Now, out the back here, in the blue, just sort of comes through this field and just absolutely rips away at the end.
Yeah, we want to look at his Hawkesbury track form and see if we can give him a big green tick for Hawkesbury form, and we absolutely can after this run. Patiently ridden again, but it's a very different track, Hawkesbury to Rose Hill. You can actually quicken from the back, and he does that this day. He can accelerate on a dry, firm surface. Some of these other milers can't, which makes him a decent bet on Saturday, we think.
Look, that might have been an easier race, Mike, but wow, got to love the way he finished.
Yeah, absolutely. The Hawkesbury track, like we said, a big plus for him.
All right, well, let's look at a couple of replays. Now we've got to get stuck into the race, Mike. So all the form and the key factors, take us away.
Let's have a look and see who's got the form ratings. 3 of them, the favourites, all have even form for us. Light them up for form.
Okay, there's that Doncaster Prelude form on top. good Hawkesbury, Mike, all important.
Yeah, that long straight for Ecuador, maybe a slight risk if we go across to good Hawkesbury and see that factor. Not ideal for him, maybe. Duce Valentino, when we just saw the replay, and a few other horses should be suited to that long straight at Hawkesbury. McCreery's won there before.
Okay, so Duca just with his nose in front. Now distance up to the mile.
Yeah, up to the mile. A couple that love it. Ecuador so tough on pace. Kingsguard's record over the mile surprisingly good. And Placer, even though he hasn't placed over the mile yet, his form last preparation was good. He was storming home.
All right, we've got a race on our hands here, don't we? Position in run. Is this going to level it up?
Yeah, firm track. You want to be near the pace off that steady tempo. So Ecuador and Kingsguard get beautiful runs. It won't matter too much being midfield for Duce Valentino. He'll love the inside barrier cover. He will sprint home.
All right, so it's Ecuador, Duca, Mr. Seawolf there. They're all right there, Mike. These are all the favourites as well. So, look, is it time for a bet in this race? We've got the ratings there. We've seen that there's a few right on top. There is a little gap. I just noticed that. Back to the fourth horses. So, look, Mike, time for a bet. There's a little gap. Now, does that mean we can zoom in on some of these? Why are we leaving out Mr. Seawolf and McCreary's here?
Yeah, I think Mr. Seawolf and McCreary, definitely the firm track was the factor that ruled them out, I think. I think if the rain comes, they're two horses that'll go right in the mix, and it might just be a bridge too far for a place here, but they're the top three that we like on a firm track, and there's two that stand out off the page. For value, it's pretty simple. Duce Valentino each way all day from midfield. He's firmed from 8 to 6, I think.
Okay.
He was a great bet in early markets. In Kingsguard, near the pace, he gets a slight weight turner on Ecuador.
All right, so it's Duce Valentino at a track we know he liked. In the second leg of the quaddie, there's a look at the first two. Stick around and after the break, and we'll be back to wrap it all up at Hawkesbury this weekend. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We're up to the third leg of the quaddie, and it is the Hawkesbury Guineas, and Mike, Jenny Graham, she is now the champ, winning the country championships after Victorum absolutely bloused them away at Randwick. It just absolutely smashed them. Having a first look at this race, I really didn't think there was too much going on, and I reckon Jenny's just going to be sitting at home going, this might be another easy win for me because this horse is on fire.
Yeah, hopefully the analysis will tell us how confident she should be, but I tell you what, on face value, she's found a perfect 3-year-old set weights race for this really progressive horse. Let's have a look at the way he sets up, the favourite in the Hawkesbury Guineas on Saturday. Another Group 3 race, 1,400 metres, a fair tempo, this time a few going forward, so it should be fair. Good dry conditions and a fair bias, we hope, for Saturday. Great news for Hawkesbury across the three key factors. They're only 3-year-olds, so scope and improvement's important. The 1,400 metre distance and position and run too.
Absolutely. Let's have a look now at the market for this third leg of the quaddie, and you imagine this horse is going to be short. Victorum there, $2.80. I'm pretty sure that's going to come in a lot come race time on Saturday. Sambro there, $5. Montrachet, the interesting runner for the Hawk stable, $7 there. Warranty, $8.50. We've got Boguest, $9.50. They're the ones under $10, Mike. But Victorum, this horse is going to attract some serious support.
He's a serious horse, and he should get some serious support as long as he parades well and is obviously holding his form after what might have been his grand final last start. But let's have a look at his grand final and see how he went. He got a decent run mid-race. You've got to say that, a good position run for him. But when he came wider, he got checked. He didn't find any room. It was a pretty testing race, and not many horses can do what he did next, which was so impressive, Stu.
Yeah, just the way he just shifted back to the inside, and then jockey said, let's go, right up along the fence, and, well, runs away over the last 50.
Yeah, should be almost unbeaten on debut. People remember him buck jumping, etc. This is 1,400 metres. This is a good track, and this is a rating that no other horse in this race on Saturday has got close to in their career before. All big pluses for him.
Well, let's have a look now. Well, let's say one of the outsiders. It's Listoon Varna, Mike. This was actually a good race this day, and we love tough horses here on Key Factors. This horse was wide, unlucky. You know, this is one of those ones that loves to stick on.
Yeah, I think it was her first start at 1,400 metres, and I think she's got a bit of a reputation of being a bit of a wet tracker over 1,200 metres and 1,300 metres as well, but she could just simply be looking for distance, 3 wide, no cover, on a really testing tempo. You find out what these horses are made of when they've got such a testing run, and she's got guts, this filly, doesn't she?
Yeah, look, there's merit in any defeat like this. She's not too far behind them there, but she tried.
Yeah, she stuck on really, really well. You can probably give her 3+ lengths based on being 3 wide that day.
All right, Mike, well, it's form time. Take us through the form before we get into all the key factors for the third leg of the quaddie.
No surprises at all. Victorium's got the best form, clearly, compared to these horses. Sambro was unlucky last start, but he still hasn't got the same form as Victorian.
All right, well, the favourite way out in front as we start, Mike Scope. Can he get any better?
Scary thing is he can. I mean, he's only a lightly raced horse that's obviously getting fitter all the time, so he definitely has upside. Sambro back to 1,400 metres. We couldn't give him Scope, but there are quite a few other horses that do have Scope in this race as well.
Okay, what about distance? Does this bring the field closer?
Yeah, we can't give Victorian a bit of a kicker. We know he loves 1,400 metres, but no improvement. He won their last start. Montrachet up in distance and Warranty's won there before. They're two horses that could improve on their form on Saturday.
Okay, and as we look to position in run, Mike, who's going to get that gun run?
Yeah, big question for favourite backers. What's going to happen from the barrier? How much of a knock do you give him? You definitely can't give him a kicker from that barrier. Warranty, Bogues, Liz Dornviner on pace. They both got a great position in run.
Well, look, the story here is Victorium out in front, but we've got a couple of those chestnuts really giving chase. Mike, time for the punters to have a think here. I mean, this is a horse that has won so well at Randwick over the carnival. They're going to be taking a short price come Saturday. We've got an outside barrier here to contend with. What sort of punter have they got to be? They've got to say, right, I'm going to get stuck in here, or is there something at value just in behind them? And we've got a couple in there at each way odds, a couple of lengths behind.
Yeah, we like the race, don't we? It just depends what type of punter you are. Like you say, Stu, do you want a low-risk bet? Because obviously Victorian rates pretty well there, but he's a bit short. Liz Dornviner right there on pace, and she's great odds. So maybe you want to take more risk and bet each way on her. Looking down the page, Sambro, $5. He's too short for us based on those ratings there. It's a top two for us. Victorian on top. If you like a short price favourite, we think if he gets the right run, he just wins. And Liz Dornviner each way all day, maybe more a place. Tough, on pace, reliable. She's a really tough man.
I like it when you come up with one of those for a place, Mike. That could be one of them, but the favourite there for us in the third leg of the quaddie. As we wrap it up with the stayers handicap, Mike, and Richard Friedman, look, we know he's a smooth talker in life, but he's proved he can actually train some good horses as well. Roman Sun, all eyes are going to be on this horse. It was such a slashing win last start. Could go anywhere, this horse. But look, Waller's got 5 in the race. That could be a little plan to stop him, I think. He's got 1 bred from Kiwi, 2 bred from Ireland, 2 bred from the UK. And look, that man, Mr. Waller, he has been known to produce a few decent staying types over the years.
Yeah, his owners pluck out some great stayers from around the globe, and he always does a good job with them, doesn't he? But I tell you what, this favourite is going to be so hard to beat, Stu. 2,100 metres on Saturday, a really good staying race, which is often the first race in the card, isn't it? But they've got it as race 9. Great to see. Benchmark 84, a fair tempo with a few rolling forward. Good, fair bias, maybe slightly near pace if it's very firm by this stage of the day. Across the 3 key factors, we're playing scope, there's a couple with upside, we're playing position and run, and we're playing the distance. You need to be able to stay off course. All
right, up to the 2,100 metres. As you said, let's have a look at the market now for the last leg of this quaddie, the Get Out Stakes. Well, there might be a few favourite backers absolutely trying to get out here because $1.90 Roman Sun, the money's come. This horse, Mike, I don't know what odds it's going to start, but they're all talking about it. Let's go right out now. We've got Mazaz at $8, Naval Warfare for Waller at $9, but this is all about Roman Sun, this market.
It's all about Roman Sun in the market, and it was all about Roman Sun last start when a few people tipped it, but no one expected it to do this. Let's have a look at it. Second up, 1,800 metres. I think it's the second start for Richard Freeman. Settled midfield, came to the outside. You think he might get the win, but he absolutely smashed them, Stu.
This was a massive win, and as you said, yeah, not many people expected it to do this well, but yeah, this horse is really going places, Mike. I don't know what odds it's going to start, but we're going to see a good one come Saturday.
Yeah, simply best rating compared to any other horses in this race on Saturday, almost like the last race, isn't it? It's not as if he's a Rosehill type. He's trying to quite a lean, balanced type that should enjoy Hawkesbury. Ease down, throttle down, 2,100 metres is ideal as well.
Wow, what a win. There's a look at the first replay. Now we're going to take you to one of Waller's horses, but it's Naval Warfare, and this is the rundown in Melbourne, Mike. I love the way this horse just battled along. He put his nose in front late. He was headed though. I like a horse that can do this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks tough on paper, doesn't it? But this race is so deceiving. They absolutely jog-trotted for the first 1,400, 1,600 metres. Nothing goes past anything. It's a seriously slow tempo. You may as well call it a 500-metre race. Maybe put a pen through the form.
All right, well, we might have to do that, Mike. But that is a pretty good win there. Stepped up to the plate. Now, another replay. We're going to put a third one in here, Mike. You found this one. Mandalay Bay, 2,000 metres. We're talking a soft track, but we're going way back here about a year at Randwick. Now, the point of this, look at him. He's right out the back last. Does finish off.
Yeah, he's a fantastic horse and he's very sneaky into this race on Saturday. This is last preparation, coming to Sydney, coming to 2,000 metres, getting held up slightly there, absolutely proving he relishes the 2,000 metres. The start so far, this preparation, a couple of good runs over 1,200 metres, a couple of very sneaky runs over the mile where he was held up last start. He is definitely under the radar, and he is definitely in the mix on Saturday.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Running on nicely out wide there. Well, Mike, we've got to weigh all this up now. Time for a bet. Time to look through all the form and the key factors. Let's get it started.
Let's have a look at the form and see which horse is on top. No points for guessing. He's up in weight, but he's still got the best form, Roman Sun.
Well, there he is, Roman Sun. As we get this race started, Mike, scope, who has got the ability to improve here?
Once again, Scary, the favourite's better, and he can improve. Naval Warfare can improve for Waller as well. Mornington has that improvement profile for Chris Waller too.
Okay, so Roman Sun right out in front, position in run. Who's getting that?
Once again, the favourite gets a nice cushy draw, midfield. Naval Warfare on pace is good for him. A couple of others near the pace drawing well as well. Mornington quite wide, isn't he?
He sure is, but look, Roman Sun keeping his neck out in front. And distance, Mike, I don't think this will be a struggle either.
Well, out of the favourites, there's some off the page as well. They get a gold bar, but out of the favourites, third up 2,100 metres. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
He should love it.
Okay, so we're talking 3 gold bar ticks here. We're saying it's a horse that improves up to 2,100 metres. Position in run, tick, tick, tick. Look, the punters have got an even money favourite in the last here, Mike. Do they just unload? It'll be interesting to see what we're going to do in the quaddies later as well.
It might depend how many beers you've had by this stage of the day, whether you unload, but looking at those ratings, it's absolutely the right price for us, or it should even be shorter potentially.
Yep.
That's 3 or 4 lengths for us. He's such a progressive type, and geez, Richard Freeman's training well, but there's Mandalay Bay right up there,
big odds
right in the mix, above an $8 shot in Mazaz there. We think he's right in the mix on Saturday, so 2 obvious horses stand out for us. Roman Sun, the world's going to be tipping him, so no surprises, we are as well. And Mandalay Bay is the swooper each way for sure. He's huge odds. He has to firm.
Well, the world was tipping Osborne Bulls in the last week. Now, this weekend, most of them are going to do it with Roman Sun, but you found another place horse there in Mandalay Bay. Now, Mike, quaddie time. It's one of those ones today. On Saturday, I think we've got the favourites there in the last. Are we going all out in those last 2 legs, or are we going to play it a little bit wide with a few of those selections?
Yeah, we're not going all out in the first leg, that's for sure, isn't it? We saw how evenly matched that was. If you want to be really confident or really bold, you can leave out some of the favourites in race 6, but we're going the top 8 raiders and putting them all in. If the rain comes, our tips will change in race 7, but on a dry track, there's the 3 for us. And race 8 and race 9, you could just go Victorum and Roman Sun, but there's some value shots we've got to throw in, including So You Win. Okay,
so 60% of the quaddie there, but you could also go shorter if you like that in race 8 and 9. Mike, onto the $100 hot seat. We were going so well. We were just about to break through that $1,000 barrier. You went so wide last week. There was so much value to be had, and it was just seconds all over the page.
Yeah, we were really confident in one of those races, and they both came second and third, didn't they?
Yep.
We didn't back them each way. So we learned our lesson, and we'll have a look at what we're doing this week. I think we're going a couple each way, especially at good odds. There's been a bit of banter lately on Twitter saying place bets aren't good bets, but it all depends on the horse. Liz Duanvana, so reliable, so tough on pace. She's a better bet to place for us, so $20 a place, $10 to win at those odds. Roman Sun, the world will be tipping him. We're on board as well. And Mandalay Bay, get on Thursday night at 40 to 1. He won't be 40 to 1 on Saturday.
Don't be scared of a place bet, mate. You've been known to pull off some big value ones on key factors over the years. Now, Mike, that's it from us for Hawkesbury on Saturday. It's going to be a great day. Good luck to everyone at the club out there. Hope you get a fantastic crowd. Head to theraceguide.com.au for all your profiling for this weekend's meeting. But that's all it from us, and we'll see you again next week.
Good punting.